Richician.
Hey YouTube, Richician 84 here, and after a monthly break, welcome to Q&A number 168. Yeah, I apologise that it's been so long, but obviously, like I said, we didn't have Wi-Fi here, plus I didn't want to do an episode on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So, yeah, we're finally back with the Q&A series. Let's kick it off. The first four questions are from Gunnar. 1. Could you make a wind-up deck for the deck building challenge? Yeah, I guess I could. Even though I've played against it a few times, I'm not sure what the ratios would be. But then again, that's all part of the challenge. I might consider it. 2. Would you ban Zen Mighty in your format again, or is it an okay card? I'm not quite sure at the moment. I'd have to use other decks against it. Just anything that's not Odd Eyes Dimension Dragon again. I mean, I did consider it, but I feel like last time it wasn't Zen Mighty that was the problem. It was your back row. Like, all those traps just royally cucked me, especially in the third game when I was on the verge of making an epic comeback, and I think it was Storming Mirror Force that just ruined me. And it's actually making me consider unbanning either Harpy's Feather Duster or Heavy Storm, just to get round that. Despite my reasoning for wanting both banned in my format. I mean, I'm still considering it though. But like I said, I'd like to wait until I can accumulate one or the other for me and Emma before unbanning either of them in my format. But one thing's for sure, both will not be unbanned. That would be too much, and there really would be no point playing traps anymore. And decks like Dark Magician would just straight up auto lose. We'll see in the long run. Both regarding Zen Mighty, Duster and Heavy Storm. 3. How often did you duel against wind-ups back in the day, and what did you like or not like about the deck? I feel like I duelled it quite a lot during the March 2012 format and a bit in the September 2012 format, and I hated it. Like, I swear I mentioned it at some point, but yeah. Because of the hand loop in the March 12 format and the OTK bullshit in the September 12 format, I used to really fucking hate wind-ups. Like, it was just one of the most infuriating decks to play against, and it made March 12 one of the worst formats ever. That and Dark World. I don't know how anyone can enjoy that format. It was shit. Alright, it might have been great for certain Dark World players, but for me, I hated it. It literally really was one of the worst formats ever. Everything else I didn't mind. I guess I was okay with. Insectors and Chaos Dragons were tricky, but I felt like I could deal with them quite well, even though I always lost against Insectors back in the day. But I feel like that was down to, well, maybe it was down to luck, but it was too strong a deck back then, whereas I had Dark Magician Hero, Rainbow Neos, plus a whole bunch of casual decks. But you know, I know I can deal with Insectors, or could back in the day, but just didn't have the right cards at the right time. Dino Rabbit I didn't face very often, but so it was hard to give a proper opinion on them. But yeah, everything else I just faced too much, and you know, Dark World and Wind Ups just pissed me off the most. For a non-wind up question, would you be interested in a Gearfried archetype? We have a lot of cards from him, but no real archetype around him. Yeah, I think that would be really awesome. I'd love to see that, and I probably would do some sort of deck building challenge involving that. Oh, and thanks very much for the congratulations on the house. Next questions are from Matt and Alison Welch. 1. You come across Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O from Jackass one day while out and about. They offer you a chance to take part in a stunt or prank and will be paid an unspecified amount of cash. Do you accept, or are there conditions? Well, it depends what it is really, but usually they're like nothing good. So I mean, as much as I'd love to get paid lots of money, I don't want to risk some sort of injury to get it. You know, it's just not worth it. So I'm gonna have to say no. 2. What did you think of the video I sent in our group chat of Yugi playing modern Yu-Gi-Oh? Do you think that's probably the only way he'd win in today's time? I mean, it would be a way, but I don't know if it would be the only way. I think because of his plot armor, he'd still find a way to win somehow, because he's the king of games. Like, he almost never loses. And I think he'd stand a good chance if he played a modern version of Dark Magician, definitely. 3. That movie you uploaded was awesome, with the villain playing Earthbound Immortals. Does it make you want to rebuild them in real life? I know you already explained you don't want to build or rebuild any more decks. So why would you ask that question then, if you know this? But no, seriously, to answer the question, I don't think I will rebuild them in real life, especially since, well, the question was kind of already answered here. But I still have the deck on Edo Pro. And the last questions are from Starlight William Magician. 1. If cats could drive cars, what would their driving habits be like? I mean, I'd like to think they'd be pretty careful, because, well, they do generally navigate round certain obstacles quite carefully, even though it doesn't always work out that way. I mean, they could walk on the edge of a bath and accidentally slip and fall in it, which would, I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if it was empty, but, although if there was water, it would involve them getting wet and jumping out, but obviously it would never be that deep, so that would be fine. But yeah, I'd like to think cats would be careful drivers. 2. Do cats have a secret plot to take over the world, and if so, what's their strategy? No, I don't think they do. Like, I mean, yes, they're naughty and mischievous, but there's no way they'd plot to take over the world. They're just too loving. Well, except maybe wild cats, but they just want to do their own thing. 3. Can cats communicate with aliens? And if so, what's their favourite topic to talk about? That's kind of a hard question to ask, because at this time we have no proof that aliens exist. I mean, obviously we're pretty sure they do, because we can't be alone in the universe. There's just no way. But maybe there's some alien species they could communicate with. But what they talk about, I don't know. Just random stuff, I would think. Although the thing is, if they had a sinister plot to take over the world and use our resources, cats would have no way of telling us. I mean, at best they can just keep meowing as a warning, but other than that we'd be clueless. 4. If you had to stick with one format of Yu-Gi-Oh for the rest of your life, what one would it be? That's tricky. It would be a toss-up between September 2007 and Richician format, but I feel like I would lean more towards September 2007, just because it's a slower format than Richician format. I mean, I love Richician format, but I just love September 07 more, just because it was a simpler time and a slower game, and much easier and less complicated, as I've explained several times in the past. So yeah, definitely that one. 5. Did you ever play Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossover Duels? If yes, what was your opinion? No, I didn't, because it's not something I'm very familiar with. So I can't give an opinion on that, I'm afraid. And 6. Will you be playing more at TTR this year? I'm going to have to say no on that one, purely because there's 4 people I just don't get along with, because 3 of them antagonised me for hating monarchs, and the other one was a judgmental arsehole towards me. But I already explained this in a couple of videos in 2024, including my end of year video. But yeah, I'm not going to go into details on here, but yeah, they just pissed me off and upset me so much that I just don't want to be in the same room as them. So yeah, I'm not going to go back, I'm afraid. I mean, but just to clarify, I have nothing against the store itself, and I have nothing against anyone else there. Like, everyone else I get along with very well, but yeah, just the 4 individuals that just pissed me off. Yeah, I just don't want to go back because of them, I'm afraid. And yeah, that is it for questions in this episode. Thank you very much for your guys' questions, and if you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Tuesday afternoon or evening, UK time, so be sure to get your question before then so that you don't miss out. Thanks again, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.